Hey guys, so I'm back now for your first task. So now we've warmed up, we are going to play a little game with each other. So you're going to have to go and find someone because you can't really do this one by yourself. Or you could try and do it over FaceTime or Snapchat or WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, whatever you've got. You could try and do it in between yourselves as well. So I think some of you have played this before and you basically just have to count to 5 in between yourselves. So if there's 3 of you, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So the only thing you can't do is do this in a group of 5 because you're going to end up with the same number every single time. So once you've obviously got that into a good rhythm, everyone knows how to count to 5, easy peasy, you are going to decide on a move. So your first move could literally just be this, and that could go in place of number 1. So instead of saying number 1, you would do a move. So it would look like this: 2, 3, 4, 5. The next person would do it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Next person does it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it'd come back to me. 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you've got that, everybody knows the movement. You've got it into a good rhythm. You're not all stood there going, ooh, ooh, you know, because you can't remember what it is. You're then going to add another move in. It doesn't have to be that you add in, the next move has to be number 2, next move has to be number 3. You could choose to put it against any of those numbers you want. And so it could end up looking a little bit static at first, and that's okay. But I want you to try and think of 5 completely different moves and to think about what part of your body you could be moving. So with the first one that I chose, I am moving my foot and I'm also moving my arm. And so my second one, if it was to go in place of number 2, I wouldn't want to do something similar. So it could be that this is my number 1 and then my number 2 is my shoulders. So it would go 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and so on. If I chose to maybe do something that's quite low down, you need to make sure that it's 1, you've got enough space to do it, and 2, it's something you're going to be able to get back up from as well quite easily, because we don't want to stop the rhythm once we've got it going because we've got stuck on the floor. So it needs to be something that you can kind of do within a second or so. So it could be, for example, that if you wanted to go down to the floor, it could literally just be that you drop down and back up. So it could end up that you have this for number 1, this for number 2, this for number 3. And then number 4, for example, could be a lift of the arm and your knee popping. So try and think of 2 or 3 different body movements, because that can sometimes help you to try and find a variety in your moves, because we don't want to end up with 5 moves that are just doing this, because then the other bottom half of our body has been completely forgotten about. But we also do want to think about levels as well. So once you've got that together, obviously go away, do it on, as I said, you know, you can do it with each other if you can, and video conference yourselves and talk to each other through that, or you can do it with people in the house. I want you to go away and do that. Once you've got that going, I want you to keep practicing until you find a rhythm. And so I don't want it to be like a, oh, what comes next? Oh, what comes next? Because in the end, instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will have 5 different movements that you are just moving at different times. So once you've finished that, I would like you to video them if possible. Obviously that's going to be a little bit difficult if you are maybe doing it with each other over Messenger or something, but if possible, it could be that you end up just showing me the 5 moves as a little phrase, just so I can see them. So if it was my 5 moves, I'd be able to video myself and just do this. So it'd be my 5 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So easy peasy, just so I can see what kind of ideas we've come up with, because some of this can be really useful for us to actually start making phrases together. So I'm gonna let you go away, have a think, have a chat with people. As I said, try and think of 5 completely different movements so we're not just using the same body parts. If it helps, maybe write down loads of different body parts, so your arm, your head, your hips, your knee, your ankle. Give them a little swirl around and then pick out a couple, because that sometimes can help you to just think more outside of your comfort zone. So yeah, go away, do that if you can, video it, even if it's just a little snippet of it, and try and find some rhythms. And I think actually I would quite like you, if you can, to try and make it flow, so that if there's a number of you, you can make that rhythm there, but can you actually do it yourself as a whole mini thing without having to think about it? So make that flowing little dance. Cool, off you go.